What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Marlon. I am an ex-college basketball athlete. I turned weightlifter, and now I personal train people in my spare time. So I'm going to be giving you the best information, the best 5 ways to break your muscle building plateau from the things I've used to break my own plateau and the things I've used to help other people break their plateau. Everything we're doing, everything we're talking about is naturally building muscle. I've never used anything before in my life as far as performance enhancing drugs go. So I'm giving it to you real, raw, uncut, and upfront. This is how you're gonna break your muscle building plateau. So let's get into it. Now, the number one thing that you should be doing if you have reached a plateau. I know you've heard other people say this, and yes, this is the most important thing. You can have the best workout in the world, but if you're not refueling your body properly and getting the proper nutrition, you're not gonna see the results you're looking for. And a lot of times when people gain muscle in the gym, they get to this kind of arrogance point per se, kind of like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to build muscle, or I can build muscle eating whatever. And sometimes that's due to beginner gains where you weren't working out in the beginning and now you are working out. So just naturally your body builds muscle. And you're gonna reach that point where, if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you're at this point now where you're just not getting those gains. They're not coming as fast as they were before. And that is primarily probably due to your nutrition. So you wanna make sure that you are counting your macros. Make sure you're getting the proper protein intake. Make sure you're getting the proper carb intake. You can use certain apps like MyFitnessPal, which I've used before, and it's helped me track my macros to a T. No, I'm not being paid any type of sponsorship money to promote this app. I just think it's a pretty good tool to use, especially when you're someone who needs to count each and every macro. So if you're not doing that, you need to make sure that you are. If you're someone who's like, I don't have time to count my macros, or I don't have the time throughout the day, I don't work from home like you do, so I can't just walk to my kitchen and make my meals. This is where meal prepping is gonna come into play. So you're gonna need to make your meals and measure your meals out, maybe on a Sunday, maybe on an evening where you get home from work early. But it's essential that you're doing this counting. You can do it all beforehand. You don't have to do it for each and every meal. And it's important that you're getting protein-rich meals, meals high in protein. That's what's gonna help you build that muscle and pack on that size. The second thing you need to do, you need to make sure that you're checking your weightlifting routine. Time and time again, I hear people telling me like, one day on my chest day, I do bench press. The next day I do all machines. The next week I do all dumbbells because I saw this guy doing this really cool chest dumbbell workout on my Instagram feed. No, what you need to do is make sure that you're following the same program for minimum, and I mean minimum, 3 to 4 weeks. Now, there are times where you might do a program for maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks, and you're still getting that muscle fatigue, you're still getting that soreness, you're still needing a couple days to recover after that workout that you had. But the whole idea is tracking your progress. You wanna make sure that, okay, I hit the bench for 135 10 times this chest day. My next chest day I came back 135 12 times. The next chest day I came back 135 13 times. What I'm doing is I'm tracking my progress so I know where my strength is. That's also gonna help me measure, okay, this exercise is working for me. I really feel the bench press in my chest, or I really feel the seated cable chest fly in my chest. So I'm gonna keep that exercise in my program. Now, if I'm just skipping around exercises and I'm not measuring month to month my progress, I'm not doing my mirror checks, taking a picture in the mirror, making sure that I'm seeing how my progress is coming, because the scale is not the only determining factor that if you're actually getting changes in the gym, then I'm gonna be lost. I'm just gonna be skipping around exercises. So for somebody, cable flies, perfect exercise, exhaust your chest every single time. For other people, they might not feel it as much. That's where you need to make sure that your program is being followed to a T, and you know exactly what exercises you're using. So if this exercise doesn't work, I'm throwing that out. I'm gonna try this variation of another exercise. If this exercise is working, I'm gonna keep that in there. Now, that's also where order comes into play. So let's say I've got 5 or 6 exercises that I know are working for my chest. I'm seeing some good results, but I've been doing this program for so long and I just don't feel it anymore. I'm just casually going through the motions. That's where you can change up the exercise order. So if you do, dumbbell chest press in the beginning, switch it to the middle. Whatever exercise you're doing in the middle, if you're doing cable flies, switch that to the beginning. So now you're playing with the order. So by the time you get to that dumbbell chest press, your chest is a little bit more fatigued than it would be in the prior weeks. And now you're really gonna be able to test your strength. It's like, okay, can I hit these 70s 12 times like I did when I did this exercise in the beginning? You might not be able to the first time, but that's where you're gonna see yourself get stronger. You're gonna see yourself develop a little bit more. And that's the importance of making sure that your program is the same week by week. The third thing that's absolutely necessary for you to change if you want to break that plateau is the way you're lifting weights. How are you lifting weights? It sounds like a really condescending question, like how are you lifting weights? But it's really important. And within how are you lifting weights, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Am I using the right form? So when I'm doing a bicep curl, am I swinging my elbows all the way up to the top when I'm curling? Or am I making sure my elbow position is nice and stable? So the only thing I'm doing is flexing that bicep and moving the weight using your bicep. Second thing you need to ask yourself is, how's your tempo? I talk about this in a lot of videos. If you follow my channel and you see my shorts, that's probably top 3 things that I'm always emphasizing other than consistency is tempo. Tempo is important because you're increasing the time under tension. So what I normally like to do, let's say I'm doing a chest press, or let's say I'm doing a squat, or a split squat. So on the way down, I like to count to 3. And then when I get to the lowest position, I'll count to 1 second, and then I'll push the weight back up or push myself back up if I'm doing a squat. That is gonna make the set a lot more challenging, and it forces you to use good form. If you're lifting like that, you're not gonna have wild form. You're not gonna throw the weight around and put yourself at risk for injury. You're gonna make sure that your form is nice and crisp doing that. You're gonna refine and perfect your form by slowing the tempo down while getting a little bit more tension on the muscle. So it's a win-win situation either way, the way I see it. And the third thing that's under this category is a mind-muscle connection. I talk about this a lot when people ask me about rear delt growth, because hitting your rear delt requires that you understand mind-muscle connection to a high level. Because when you're doing, let's say, a cross-cable rear delt fly, you have to make sure that you're moving the weight using your rear delt. And for a lot of people, a lot of beginners, that's a difficult thing to do because you don't have that connection with your rear delt yet. When you're doing a chest press, you want to make sure you're moving the weight. You feel the weight that you're pushing in your chest. When you're doing a dumbbell curl, you're feeling the weight when you're doing the curl. You're not feeling it in places where you shouldn't even be feeling it. So it's really important that you work on your mind-muscle connection. And those first 2 things with using good form and good tempo are going to help you develop a really, really nice mind-muscle connection. Now, the fourth thing might be pretty simple, might be pretty basic, but if you're someone who is weightlifting, you're going to the gym 3 days a week, let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you saw, some results, you built a little bit of muscle, you see the difference in your mirror pictures and your videos and whatever you're using to track. And now you're like, well, I can't build any muscle anymore. Well, I'm gonna be the one to break the news to you. You're going to need to increase your frequency of weightlifting. So if you're only lifting 3 days a week, you're gonna need to go up to 4 days a week. You're gonna need to go up to 5 days a week. Now, what this allows you to do is it still gives you time to rest. So you can still get 2-3 days to rest. But you're gonna need to start lifting weights more frequently. And now that also might require that you change up your split a little bit. You might have to go to a push-pull legs now, or maybe you were probably doing something like upper body, lower body, which is a separate conversation that we'll talk about later. If you want to see a video on that, make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. But if your frequency is not high enough, if you're only going to the gym 2-3 days a week, you saw results in the beginning, and now you're not seeing those results. One simple thing that you can do is add more days into the weight room. The fifth and final thing that you need to do to break your plateau is pretty simple when we're talking about it, but in the weight room, it might be a little bit more challenging. You want to make sure that you're getting the most out of each and every set. So if I'm going in and I'm doing 4 sets of lat pull downs, I want to make sure that each and every set, I'm filling my back to the maximum. Meaning when I get done and I rack up the weight, and some of you like to slam the stack and get done and walk around and pose in the mirror after you get done with your set. I know I do that sometimes. You want to feel your lats. You should feel your lats literally pulsating when you get done. If you're not doing that, then you're not getting the most out of every set. Now, mind you, if you're only doing 4 sets, you only have 4 times to use the lat pull down to get anything out of the exercise. So let's say I just go through the motions on the first set. All right, that's out of there. Let's say I do a weight that doesn't challenge me and I only go to 10 reps, but really I could have got 15 and I stopped. Now we're down to 2 sets. So, and on this set I go to failure, and this set I go until failure as well, let's say. So really, I've only really done 2 sets of that lat pull down, in my opinion. So if you're not getting the most out of each and every set, it's almost like you're cheating yourself. I mean, you're just going through the motions and you're not getting anything out of it, because at a certain point, going through the motions is not going to help you build more muscle. You got to go hard. You have to challenge yourself. You want to make each set as challenging as possible so that you shock the muscle as much as possible in order to promote growth. And if you're not doing those things, then you're not going to see the changes you're looking for, and you're not going to break that plateau. If you have any other concerns or things you're struggling with in the gym, I'm here to help. So make sure you leave a comment in that comment section, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button before you get out of here.